The PLZ Soccer Show. I'm Peter Martin. Alan Ruff is alongside me. We'll look back over the weekend's action. We'll talk about that Old Firm derby at Ibrox. High noon on Sunday. It finished with Celtic with 10 men on the park and winning by 3-2. All that to come. But first of all, Alex McLeish has been chatting today, Ruffy, and giving everyone the details of his first squad for Scotland. Second time around, it has to be said, with 6 new faces in there. And as you can see from that squad of the new faces, you know, the likes of Barry Douglas is in there. Of course, we all know about Scott McTominay, which was a crucial one as well. John McLaughlin, Dylan McGeoch in there, Oliver McBurney and Scott McKenna.
Yeah, I think he's went with a squad that a lot of us like to see some of the players being in there. Ryan Christie, for example, John McGinn, you know, obviously McGeoch, as you've said, and a lot of young players, you know, and I think if we're going to go down that road, we need to give them as much games as possible before the serious games start. So I think that's why these 4 games that are coming up are really, really important.
I'll tell you, the one thing that's glaringly obvious is we don't have a lot of goal scorers. Lee Griffiths needs to get fit.
Yeah, he certainly does. I think I don't see Ryan Christie as a goal-scoring player. He's more of a midfield. Jason Cummins, I think Alec touched on players stepping up to a different level. He's another one who's got to step up to a different level to prove to everybody he can score goals. Oliver McBurney, you know, obviously he's playing down in England. We'll have to give him a chance and see what he can do. But for me, Matt Phillips is just a wide player. I mean, a good wide player, not a goal-scoring sensation. So, yeah, that is a department we're very short on. But we used to have 4. No, we used to have like Lee Griffiths, and even way back with McCoist, with Boyd, I mean, the centre forwards just flown, but now we have nothing. We might have had, you know, a few centre forwards to choose from, but not certainly anyone prolific. I think from a set piece and certainly from outfield play as well, Lee Griffiths is our best hope of getting goals. Where we find other strikers, I just do not know. In fact, when Alex McLeish said at the press conference today, you know, there are goals in midfield, that was him saying, panic. We don't have a goal scorer. No. Simple as that. Of the midfield, I do think we've got a lot of young, good players there on offer. And again, Ruffy, you know, he's got a backroom team of Peter Grant and James McFadden who will help him out, but they'll realise quickly that they've got to find, for me, you know, a central defensive partnership that works, and obviously somebody up front. The midfield's not a worry. No, I don't think the midfield's a worry. I think it'd be interesting to see what kind of style of play he's going to go with. Gordon was a 4-5-1, you know, and a lot of people like the formation. Obviously, the 2 sitting midfielders with 3 in front of them and 1 up front. I think we will go heavy in midfield, basically because we don't have 2 strikers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Alec will go back to the way he deployed the team against the likes of France in the Parc des Princes that night. It'll be defensive, try and keep it tight, don't lose goals, and then maybe nick one. I mean, I don't think it's going to take a rocket scientist to work out the way Alex is going to set this team up.
No, I don't have a problem with that either, but the fans really need to buy into that's the style of play that we're going to do. If you're not losing goals, you're going to get a chance to win games, obviously by nicking one here or there. But certainly, no, I think it's exciting times, a lot of exciting players, but I think the biggest thing, again, as Alec had said there, he needs to see if the McGinns, the McGeochs can step up to another level.
Yep, okay, you can give us your view on that Scotland squad. Is there anybody missing, someone you think should be there that Alex missed out on? At PLZ Soccer on Twitter and Facebook.com/PLZ Soccer. Okay, we're going to look back over the weekend's football. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so, which is quite simply, Celtic have better individual players. Collectively as a team, they're a better team, and there was only going to be one winner at Ibrox, and it was Celtic, because Rangers, for me, Ruffy, don't have those special players yet, and I don't think there was ever a title challenge on. I think a lot of people were getting caught up in the hype and the hysteria, and there was a lot of nonsense written and spoken ahead of this match.
Yeah, but as we all know in these games, you know that they're never predictable, and I think if you were a Rangers supporter at 2-1 with a minute before half time, you would believe that you could maybe win this game. You know, I do believe that if Rangers had went in 2-1 at half time, I'm not to say that Celtic wouldn't have come back at them, because you're right, they have got the more quality players on their side, and if you look at the 3 Celtic goals, they were all quality
the 2 Rangers goals were a mess. You know, there weren't any individual class in that. It was just Celtic giving Rangers 2 goals. So obviously Celtic can tighten up at the back. I'm not saying it was a mistake with Brendan Rodgers to play a 3 at the back. I never like to see 2 big centre halves playing out wide against wingers with a bit of pace. I think they always get caught out.
He didn't have any options though. He had to play Ajer right side. I'll tell you what I did like about Rangers in the first 20 minutes. They decided, let's forget about the midfield, let's go back to front. They launched it into the corners, realising that Ajer was never a right back. And then from there they pressed up and hoped that they could get some mistakes. I don't think even the most ardent of Rangers fan was bargaining on, Boyata, gifting them a chance in the first 2 minutes.
No, you're right, and I think the first thing a manager would say before they left the dressing room was don't give in away first 5-10 minutes, don't give the opposition any hint, and obviously Celtic fell into that trap, or Boyata fell into that trap. But if I'm not criticising Brendan Rodgers for his formation, but if I was, he certainly made it up in the Simonovic situation, because I think Simonovic getting sent off played right into their hands, because obviously if you're in an Old Firm game and the opposition's going down to 10 men with 30 minutes to go, you're saying, right, this is it, we're going to go for this. But Brendan Rodgers came up with an inspired substitution of saying, right, let's just keep it tight at the back and let's play 2 up front. And all of a sudden Graham Murty's got to make a decision. Instead of obviously going gung-ho, he's now got 2 quality strikers that he's got to worry about if they do go gung-ho, and I think that just knocked Rangers off their stride. I don't think they had the quality. It maybe a wee hint of Graham Murty not having the experience of judging what Brendan Rodgers had done and maybe leaving it too late to counteract whatever he did. But it was an inspired move by Brendan Rodgers that paid off in the end.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Ruffy, that's what angered a lot of Rangers fans. He was reactive rather than proactive as far as his early tenure as Rangers manager. That was one of those big calls that he didn't get right. I think if you're looking over the 90 minutes or so, Rangers should have got the ball out quicker to the wide areas when Celtic were down to 10 men. I think Celtic need to look at 3 out of the 4 in the back line and change them. It's as simple as that. Whether Jack Henry and Christopher Ajer emerge as the central defensive pairing or not, Boyata and Simonovic won't do. I'm not sure what the future holds for Lustig, but I think 3 out of the 4 needs to be seriously looked at. Middle to front, Celtic have got so many great options. For Rangers, it's just clear for me, Ruffy, this is the gradual progress of a side that needs 2 or 3 better players next season. I think Graham Murty will know that. Whether Graham Murty's there next season is another matter for me. I don't personally think they will give him the job.
Well, if they're going to give him the job, they'll have to find the money, because you're right, they are 3 or 4 quality players short. It was evident that most of the Rangers boys are very workmanlike. They'll give you a good shift. But at the end of the day, as you saw with the Celtic game, you need quality. You need somebody. I mean, you might disagree with me. I thought in the first half Dembele never kicked the ball. He made a lot of runs and a lot of work rate, but he had the ability, and he had to score that goal, and that's what good players do. They can be out of the game for 45 minutes, and then when given one chance, bang, it's in the back of the net.
Yeah, I'm amazed actually that you said Rangers at best were workmanlike, yet for the previous 2 weeks here, you've been tipping Rangers to win against a Celtic side that has not in any way displayed, poor performances where they've been getting cuffed by anybody. They get hammered by Zenit, and they lost a game to Kilmarnock. Out of 15 games, you were still tipping Rangers, which left me completely and utterly gobsmacked.
Well, I'm sure you have to agree with me. The reason I went for Rangers was because of the 2 Celtic goals that they lost. Defensively, they're a liability. They'll lose goals, and I thought that defence was going to leak goals, which I was right. They lost 2 goals.
Yeah, but you're tipping them to lose the goals against a guy who's been missing sitters week in, week out, and missed one from 3 yards with the keeper absolutely beaten, and he hits the post.
Yeah, I'm
talking about Morelos. Some Rangers fans must have been looking, thinking, you're 3 yards out, go and equalise, put the ball in the net. Well, it was harder to miss.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It just gets back to Dembele, who I said, for me, didn't do very much, but given a chance, he scored a goal. If you're saying Morelos is a £9 million player, £9 million players don't miss these chances.
No. You think they'll win the cup game?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, you've changed your mind now, haven't you?
I don't know. But I mean, if Celtic continue to concede goals like that, Rangers will think they'll have a chance. But I don't think Celtic will be, the formation will be all over the place the way they were, I thought, at the weekend. Defensively, I think the players that are injured will come back. They'll be stronger for the next game. And it remains to be seen whether Rangers can, get over, you know, because that dressing room, whereas they might have been cheering when the draw got made, but there would be nobody saying anything in that dressing room after that game.
No, you're absolutely right. Okay, so Celtic win that match. They're 9 points clear. Brendan Rodgers has won, he's unbeaten in 9 games against Rangers, and over and above that, he's achieved what none of the other Celtic managers achieved in the post-war era, which is quite simply 4 consecutive wins at Ibrox. That tells you exactly where Celtic are at. There's no title challenge. They'll go on and win the league. I think there is a challenge going on, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, because Hibs at Easter Road against Hearts was well impressive, Ruffy, because if it was down to football, there was only going to be one winner, and it was Hibs because they played the better football. Hearts, I thought, came to Easter Road just to try and get a set-piece goal, and after that there was no plan B. Couple of half chances, but boy, Scott Allen took his goal well on Friday night.
Yeah, you're right. I think Hearts came to Easter Road to spoil the game, because obviously they knew Hibs had better players in certain positions, particularly in midfield. It worked so far in the first half. Hearts tried to kill the game, and Hibs really couldn't get into a rhythm. But once you score a goal in the derby, and a really good goal, you know, the fans get right behind you. And there was only going to be one winner in the end.
Yep, absolutely. Scott Allen's goal, top drawer, which is something that I think will fill him full of confidence. And over and above that, Jamie McLaren's goal was more about the calamitous defending of the Hearts side as well.
Yeah, I think if Craig Moline has a chance, you know, to see that, the throw in, Berra get caught underneath the throw in, and then after that everybody was just scrapping about, you know, trying to get a tackle in. And the boy McLaren, it wasn't a great finish, but he knew exactly where he was putting it, and it just rolled into the bottom corner.
Yeah, 5 consecutive wins now for the Hibbies at Easter Road against Hearts, and of course you can go back a considerable amount of time. Apart from that Scottish Cup win, Hibs seem to have the Indian sign over Hearts at the moment.
Yeah, they've got the Indian sign because they've got better players, even defensively. You've got McGregor back now, you've got Hanlon back. I mean, they're so far in front.
Honestly, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking to myself, you're arguing the case for Hibs, but you didn't argue that case last week in the Old Firm game. You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
I just looked at the game because the way that Celtic defensively had been losing goals, and the Rangers at home, I just thought this was the one. You have to say, but going back to that game at half time at 2-1, you're thinking Celtic need a bit of magic here, and they got it.
Yeah, okay. That's him digging himself out of a hole. Dundee 0, St Johnstone 4. No way Neil McCann can dig himself out of this hole. He's under pressure. You can't lose 4-0 to St Johnstone at Dens Park.
No, and 4 against Ross County as well. And okay, they nicked 2 goals at the end of the Partick Thistle game. If that hadn't happened, they'd have been in dire straits. They've got horrible games coming up, but it's not looking rosy at all at Dundee.
No, and they get involved in an altercation at the end of the game as well. The Dark Blues fans are not happy.
No, they're not. You know,
are they going down?
I think they'll be in the playoffs.
You've changed your mind.
Yeah, I think Hamilton are beginning to get a couple of results together. I think Ross County will be relegated. And no, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, you're going to say Dundee?
No, I was going to say Ross County should be in another division. I don't think they bring much to the table, to tell you the truth.
Wow, that's a bold statement. That is outrageous from you. Listen, it's a meritocracy. If they play good football and they win games, they deserve to be there. Listen, that goes back to the board. Roy McGregor sacked Jim McIntyre too early for me. Some of the fans were saying McIntyre out. Need to have a long, hard look at yourself, because quite simply it's a Brendan Rodgers line. Be careful what you wish for, because he get bulleted, you then get own coil in. The club was going downwards, and it's continued in that spiral at the moment. Hamiltonakis suddenly, listen Ruffy, if we get the call from Hamiltonakis and they say, I want you and all your pundits down to New Douglas Park because we're going to hit you with custard pies, we'd have to go down there because we're tipping them to go down every year and they're defying the odds.
Yeah, well I hope they wait until the end of the season because they have done particularly well. They're a good wee run of results that they've had, but they're still only 4 points.
So you still think they could go down?
No, I don't, because I think Ross County are going first.
Do you think they'll be in the playoffs?
I think they could be,
Yeah? Yep. Do you think they will be?
Yeah, okay, I'll stick by. They can't let it go now, you know. I said right from the
stick with it, Okay, what about Kilmarnock? It's just, it's unbelievable, Kelly, isn't it?
Yeah, the middle team of the season. Obviously, the home record was absolutely deplorable. Fans were slipping away. Obviously, they brought a new manager in, a new board in, you know. Everything's going well. You can't criticise them at all. And
Boyd's unbelievable.
Boyd, I said to you earlier, I would tip Boyd for the Sports Writers Player of the Year right now. Obviously.
Why? Because he's a friend of some of the press?
No, because I think he's done well. I think he's scored enough goals to be up there.
Yeah. Who suggested him for Scotland? How ridiculous can it all get?
No, he's had his time there. I think playing at international level, it's okay being a goal scorer, but you have to have a lot more work rate up front to be part of that side.
Okay, but you think he's going to get an award?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, I disagree with you, but nevertheless, we'll wait and see. Aberdeen, just when you need them to put the pressure on, they can't do it. Euro side got a valuable point. Are they getting relegated, Ruffy, Partick Thistle?
No, they're not getting relegated, but they need to start winning some games to take them away from the pressure of that one. They could have maybe taken 3 points at the weekend. They had chances to do that, which you don't usually get against Aberdeen. Aberdeen have got a really good record against Partick Thistle. So I think at the end of the day, every point is vital. If you said to Alan Archibald, you'll take a point for every game to the end of the season, they'd be happy. Yeah,
okay. Kilmarnock against Aberdeen, Scottish Cup quarter-final replay. Who wins it?
I'm going to go for Aberdeen. I think Derek McInnes have his players fired up for this one. I think it'll be narrow. I think it maybe be 1-0 or 2-1.
I'm going to go for Kelly.
Okay.
Just to knock Aberdeen out just by a goal, 1-0. Okay, and you can gloat tomorrow because I've given you such a hard time tonight, Ruffy. I've given you an absolute pasting, as I have quite a few others with regards to the Old Firm game at the weekend. Listen, Michael Carrick has decided to retire. Where does he stand in the United legends of the past? He's got 5 titles. He's also got a Champions League and a World Club winners medal as well.
I don't think he'll come into the Man United legend mould, but he certainly will be a player that will be remembered by Man United as a player who went into a Man United time with so many stars round about him, and he shone as much as them. But he's that kind of player in a football team who doesn't get a lot of, you know, pats in the back, but I think a lot of people in the know will know how much his worth was to that sitting place in that Man United side.
Okay, 2 games taking place in the Champions League tomorrow, Ruffy. Man United, Seville, Roma, Shakhtar Donetsk. I'll watch the Man United game. Who's winning it?
I worry for Man United. I think it's a dodgy scoreline, that nothing each, because even although Man United do get a goal, the automatic thought of that is, right, one's enough, let's just sit in it and see out the go, and that's when you get hit. That's when you get, you know, away goals, and I think Seville are good enough to get an away goal. So United are out? Yes.
Okay, I disagree with you. United will win that one by a goal, and I think Roma will come back and knock out Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah, I like the atmosphere at the Roma Stadium. I think the fans could just gee on the players to win that one.
Okay, there you are. It's all about opinions. Sometimes we agree with each other, sometimes we emphatically disagree with each other. Give us your thoughts at PLZ Soccer on Twitter, facebook.com/PLZ Soccer. If you want your news right across European football and English and Scottish football as well, you can go on to our website, www.plzsoccer.com. You can also download the app. It has a video reporter section. You can press it and video yourself and send it in to us and give us your thoughts on your favourite team as well. The PLZ Soccer app in Google Play and on the App Store as well. PLZ Soccer app, get a hold of that, get all the latest news. There's some special offers on the way on the app, so it might be an idea to get in ahead of time. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Join us tomorrow. Simon Donnelly will be with us here on our PLZ Soccer show. From Ruffy and myself, thanks for watching.